I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, good.
And I don't have that background that you all have, and I'm feeling so J.
Oh, no problem. This is all we are representing Wiki today.
Sure.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube for this event. Shiba, it's over to you.
Yeah. A very good evening. This is Shiba Nair, Council Member of Wiki. A warm welcome to all as we head towards an evening filled with interesting, informative, and interactive sessions. With great pride, I welcome Dr. Devyani Rosario, State President of Wiki, Maharashtra Marketing Council. Our multifaceted Dr. Devyani comes with 32 years of corporate experience in sales and marketing in the oil industry. She believes in making a difference in people's lives and so chose to move to the domain of personal development, coaching, mentoring, and training. She is a professor in reputed B schools, soft skills trainer, writer, motivational speaker, happiness coach, and a life coach. Over to you, Dr. Devyani.
Thank you, Shiba. Good evening and a very warm welcome to each one of you. Let me tell you a little about Wiki. Wiki is nothing but Women's Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, an organization created by the women for the women. Yes. And what do we do? Well, Wiki has many councils in the states as well as at head organization level. And this is the Maharashtra Marketing Council, which is, I'm fortunate to be given the position of the president. And I have 22, we are 22 members in this council. Wonderful women who have, committed to give their talent as well as time. And all of it is a pro bono service. And what does Wiki do? Well, Wiki is working towards empowering women. And what do we mean by empowerment? Well, it is about self-development and then moving them towards getting into business so that they can equally contribute to the economy. Yes, a nation is built in a better way if everybody contributes. I'm sure all the men out here are wondering, if Wiki is all about women, then what are we doing here? My entire council believes that if we, men and women, work in harmony, the nation will progress. And therefore, I want to reach out to all you men out there that if you are representing any organization, we as Wiki are here to support you. Just like we want to reach out to all the women and youth, our support includes, behavioral programs, self-development programs, interesting inputs about what type of business you could do, opportunities in different areas of business. And beyond that, we have some great coaches in our team, and we would love to reach out if anyone needs any coaching. With that, I welcome you once again. Have a great evening. Thank you. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you, Dr. Devyani, for the wonderful insight about Wiki and its activities. I now welcome Dr. Harshada Mule, State Vice President of Wiki and Academic Director of Master My Life EQ Education. Dr. Harshada comes with over 2 decades of experience, having worked in the corporate as well as the education sector. She is an ICF certified PSQ coach, specializing in young adult coaching. Dr. Harshada is also a PhD in emotional intelligence and has published numerous research papers in the domain, and is the recipient of the prestigious Dr. Ram Tarneja Award. Over to you, Dr. Harshada.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Shiba, and very good evening and welcome to all of you. I once again welcome everyone on behalf of Wiki as well as Mastermind Life IQ Education, because I represent both the organizations today. I'm very proud to associated with Mastermind Life IQ Education since last almost 3.5 years, which is majorly into providing and designing world's unique master's degree in emotional intelligence and life coaching, because usually we have heard there are certification courses in the coaching space as well as in emotional intelligence. But Mastermind Life IQ Education, founded by Mr. Hemant Lavangare, who is the guest of the evening today, basically majorly believes into providing emotional intelligence education as well as embedding emotional intelligence into management domains, as well as making life coaching reaching to all the verticals of professions. And that is where we look into our value as a collaboration. So Mastermind Life IQ Education have collaborated with University of Mumbai for last 5 years and have introduced a master's degree in emotional intelligence as well as life coaching. As well as Mastermind Life IQ Education have also introduced the certification courses into life coaching, into emotional intelligence, into neuro-linguistic programming, and multiple other programs. So MML have collaborated with Wiki with the vision to provide value to the masses. With that, I would again like to welcome each and everyone over in this platform, and definitely we will gain a lot of insights from this session. Thank you. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you, Dr. Harshada, for sharing your thoughts and vision of Mastermind Life EQ Education. This evening, our topic is Embrace Emotional Intelligence, Lead with a Difference. Theodore Roosevelt quoted, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." Emotions are a part of being human, and the emotional intelligence quotient is the heart of being human. EI helps people to take care of themselves as well as the well-being of others. It applies equally in personal and professional life. Now, as we move on to the topic of the day.
Hey, Shiva.
Yes.
It's interesting. It's really interesting topic. And I really want to understand how emotional intelligence can help me in my leadership.
Good question, Shivani. Let's understand this with a small activity for all of us. Does that sound okay to you?
Oh, superb idea, Shiva.
Request our audience to join me in welcoming our life and holistic wellness coach, Ms. Shilpi Srivastav. Shilpi will conduct a small activity that will really help us to explore the topic further. Over to you, Shilpi.
Thank you so much, Shiva, and good evening, everyone. Let's start with a self-awareness activity. As you know, that self-awareness is one of the key elements of emotional intelligence. So, as you can see on the screen, there is an image that shows some 30 strengths or character traits that you might have or you would want to improve upon. So you have to choose your top 3 strengths and 3 traits that you would want to improve upon. If you don't see a trait or character that you want to build on, please feel free to write your own name. So now we will be sharing a link in the chat box, and we would request you to submit your answers by clicking that link. First, you will be sharing your 3 strengths. Request everyone to kindly click on the link and share your strengths, please. And I can see the answers coming up on the screen. I can see happy, empathy, knowledge, passionate, justice, integrity, honesty, passionate, confidence, courageous, caring, compassion. Wonderful to see that so many valuable strengths are there amongst our participants. Thank you so much for sharing. So some of the top strengths are empathy, confidence, knowledge, passion, focused. And now we will move on to the areas of improvement. So we will once again share a link in the chat box. Request you to click on the link and submit your answers there, please. Wonderful to see everyone participating. Some of the areas of improvement that are coming up are action, active listening, empathy, focus, relax, health, very important, hard work, energy, postponement, financial literacy, time management, health. Health is coming in the way at the top. Like many people want to really focus and improve their health. So thank you so much for your participation here. And I'm sure that this activity has helped you to become more aware about your strengths and your improvement areas. And we can also see on the screen the top strengths among the participants. And the top strengths are happy, focused, empathy, spirituality. So I trust that this awareness about your strengths and your improvement area will allow you to apply your strengths in a way that will lead to a better productivity and satisfaction at work. Also, being aware about your areas of improvement will help you to plan your developmental journey. Again, let's assume that the participants here are your team members. And now that you're aware about the strengths and improvement areas of your team, you will agree that this awareness will help you in better delegation, team cohesiveness, and team success. Also, being aware about the team improvement areas, you will be able to choose the right development programs for them. So thus, we can see that self-awareness is one of an important leadership skills. So thank you so much, everyone, for your participation, and over to you, Shiva.
Shilpi, that was indeed a wonderful activity. Shivani, did this make up some sense to you now?
Yes, I must say, I've embarked upon my journey to self-awareness now. Thank you.
I would like to ask our audience, are you with us in this journey? Can you put on a thumbs up for us? This definitely encourages us to go further and dive into the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present our honorable guest, Mr. Hemant Lavangare, the founder director of Master My Life EQ Education. Mr. Hemant carries a very interesting profile. He is an industry expert, educationist, international life coach, emotional and behavioral intelligence expert, and is a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. And you know, there is something very interesting about Mr. Hemant. Yes, he is the designer of world's unique curriculum of master's degree in emotional intelligence and life coaching. Over to you, Mr. Hemant.
Thank you, Shiba. Thank you for the welcome. And I really enjoyed this Mentimeter activity by Shilpi. So good start. So before I start my presentation, I just want a few of the participants to just let me know what they are expecting from this particular session, right? So we are going to have a session on embrace emotional intelligence to lead with a difference, right? So this is the name of the session. So just you can unmute yourself or you can raise your hand. So Shivani or Shiba, how you want to go ahead? Because before starting, I just want few of the participants to basically share their expectations, that is what they are looking forward.
That's a good idea, sir. We should go ahead with it.
Yeah. So, so just unmute yourself and talk. Few of the participants to share their expectation, so that I will keep those expectations in the mind. Yes, Ashraf Nurani.
So, why I got inclined to this session is because, day in and day out, I see people around me, and including myself, I've been through a lot of challenges personally. All right. And I know of other people also who go through a lot of turbulence emotionally, mentally, through their life experiences. And how do you deal with those without breaking down? How do you emerge stronger with those circumstances and move ahead in life? Because all of us are so capable, so endowed, but things that happen in our life sometimes affect us. So how do we come out of that? That's the reason I thought of attending this session.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah,
All
so
right.
it will be absolutely covered in detail, Ashraf. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vidya?
Hi Hemant, how are you?
Hi. Good, good.
Okay, my thing is I'm just thinking, see, it is also a personality trait of a person to be naturally EI, having a EI naturally. It could come as part of brought up by learning through his environment and everything. Okay. But as some leaders, I see that the aim of this session is that you are saying that it can be learned. Emotional intelligence can be learned. So I'm so much interested in seeing how a person who is not much into the EI can really learn and imbibe it in his leadership skills.
Okay, so one more participant who is not associated with Master My Life, right? And the Wiki board present here. So I'm looking for a third party which is not part of MML or Wiki. Yes, Vandana. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The same question as Nurani asked. I want to know that when you are going through something emotional, and then after that, how to come out and how to manage your emotion with the link of this, that's your that wiki. So I wanted to know that the person who is already emotional or sensitive person, how to deal their life events and their business or their career, how do they lead that?
So the sensitive person, you are talking in positive sense or negative sense. So do you
Positive
mean?
sense. I'm talking
Achha.
about. I don't know. Mean they are.
So how
they are-
emotionally intelligent person say behaves differently is your question?
Yeah. How? Yeah. Sometimes they are. Their emotions are overpowering their intelligence. So that how they manage, how they means I don't know how to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you are talking about if someone is more say emotions oriented or emotions are overpowering that particular person in life, how that person should manage is what you are saying?
Yes.
So basically you are talking about the managing emotions, right? Especially for a more sensitive person, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Got it. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Good. So I'm getting good insights from the audience on what you are looking for, which is going to help me in my delivery of the session. Good. So embrace emotional intelligence. Yeah. So Sheetal Hadne, so please go ahead.
सर मुझे पूछना ये है कि अगर कोई पर्सन को कोई थॉट है जो एक्सपीरियंस है उसका पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस है और वो थॉट को लेकर उसके दिल में बहुत ज्यादा डर है एक्सपीरियंस और वो थॉट को लेकर डर है और वो लाइफ उसका ड्राइव कर रहा है
या
तो वो नेगेटिव थॉट जो है
करेक्ट
मतलब he feels that it is a mistake done by him. Okay.
Yeah.
तो वो थॉट अगर उसके माइंड से निकालना है तो उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा?
Very good. Super. Fantastic point. And I'm really glad that fortunately my presentation is covering answers to all of your questions. So we will learn together, right? And during the presentation also, if you have any question, right? Once I complete the topic, ask a question. Means if there is a slide, right? I'm going to explain the slide. Why? Because there are some things which will come in sequence. Once I complete the slide, at that time you can raise your hand and ask question, right? Because when I'm covering the slide, do not ask the, means for example, on the slide, there are 6 points and I have explained only 3 points. Do not ask question at that point in time. Why? Because the entire story gets completed with the 6 points. For example, let me complete the story and then ask question. All right. So what we are going to do, so right now it is what time it is? 6:20, right? So this particular presentation is for about 50 minutes, right? So we are talking about a time till 7:10, right? Till 7:10, and then 5 minutes will be the reflections, which you will understand what I'm talking. So till 7:15, we will complete the activity of the group discussion, and last 15 minutes are spared for the again question and answer session. So this is the timeline. What we are going to do today, we are going to discuss two topics or the two fundamentals of emotional intelligence. If you implement whatever I'm going to share with you today, of course, partially, I'm not saying that everyone can implement everything 100%, right? But partially, if you implement that, you don't have to look for any book or anything on emotional intelligence. So this is the thing, right? So like in Master My Life, we have a Vedic wisdom andragogy, how a person effectively learns. So the first is Shravan. Whatever I am saying, listen intently. Listen, not to ask question, right? Listen to understand, right? Okay, you may have some different information. I am not at all going to talk about Daniel Goleman or anybody, right? So you maybe have some say memory or some kind of reading on emotional intelligence. You will find that in today's presentation, most probably I'm not going to talk at all about that, right? So don't try to compare, oh, my understanding on emotional intelligence this, but no, just try to grasp what I'm saying. Once I complete my delivery of that particular topic, for example, I am delivering emotional resilience. Once I complete the entire explanation of the emotional intelligence, so till the time, your focus has to be only to understand, only to listen and comprehend, okay, what is being said. Don't try to match what is being said with your memory or with your current knowledge. No, right? So just listen intently to comprehend. Once you comprehend, once I complete the topic, then at that time, if you have any questions, please do ask me. This is for your own benefit. The second topic what we are going to cover today is manage emotions. And I have already written questions or the pointers of Ashraf, Vidya, Vandana, as well as Sheetal. And I'm going to cover each and every pointer of what you have already stated. Okay. So these 2 points, emotional resilience and managing emotions, cover that. And actually it's a trick. You can ask me anything. My answer is these 2 points are going to cover that. The design itself is such that there is no question which is out of the syllabus of emotional resilience and managing emotions when it comes to emotional intelligence. So this is it. This is it. Of course, we can further elaborate it and we can talk about further models, but the foundation is getting covered in emotional intelligence and managing emotions. Once I deliver this particular 2 topics, then you will go into a group discussion, into the 2 groups, wherein you will contemplate, you will discuss, right? Because I am not the only knowledgeable person on this particular forum. You are so fortunate that there are master degree holders of emotional intelligence in this particular forum. I don't have a master degree in emotional intelligence, but there are people who have a master degree in emotional intelligence, right? So they also have some learning, some insights. So you will also get benefit from learning from them in breakout room, right? So it is my wisdom as well as a collective wisdom is what we are talking about. So this is the structure of the session. Let us start with emotional resilience first. So emotional resilience is not about winning the battle. It is not about win. It is not about that particular, say the desire to always conquer something, always achieve something. It is the strength to power through the storm and still keep the sail steady. There will be turbulence in life, right? So like already said by few of you, there will be challenges in life. And many times you will fail. It is absolutely all right. So in a broad way, emotional resilience means bouncing back from a stressful encounter or negative memory and not allowing that stressful situation or negative memory to affect your internal motivation. Stressful memory is a truth. Negative memory is a truth. Stressful situation is a truth. But you are not letting that particular negative aspect to hamper your life is emotional resilience. So, like it is very well said by Alicia Moore, it is not a bend but don't break. It is not about that particular strength. Rather, resilience is accepting the fact that I am broken, nothing wrong, right? We are all human, right? And continue to grow with the broken pieces together. That is emotional resilience. So the Master My Life has developed a 6-step model. I can talk on this particular model for entire full day, but today I'm going to talk about only 15 minutes for the paucity of the time. It's a 6-step process to develop emotional resilience, because emotional resilience is the foundation. If you do this, whatever I am now going to explain, right? Your 60% of the issues in life are taken care. 60% only with this particular one aspect called as emotional resilience and these 6 pointers. And then for the balance, I'm going to also talk on the managing emotions. And why I'm saying 60%, that is majority, right? That also I'm going to explain you. That is why I am talking what I am talking, right? So what are the 6 steps? Knowing your true nature is the first step. Second step is emptying your mind. Third step is embracing positive psychology. Fourth step is accepting suffering in life. The fifth stage is control compass. Be aware of what you can control and what you cannot control, and accept that fact. And the sixth is always do purposeful thinking. These are the 6 steps. Of course, there is some sequence in mind when we are talking about the, say, these particular 6 steps, but means you can even think of them collectively. But there is a logic. There is a logic why the number 1 is number 1 and why number 2 is number 2. There is a logic for this. So I'm going to explain you in that particular sequence so that you will understand it conceptually well. So the first point is knowing your true nature, right? The knowledge of our true nature inculcates love for humanity in you. Why? Because your true nature is divine. Especially the students of MML present here knows that in Who Am I session, which is based on Advait Vedanta, Mandukya Upanishad, wherein they have learned that our true nature is divine and spiritual. We are not our body and mind, but we are part of the divine pure consciousness. What is the application of this knowledge? Is your salary going to increase because of this? Because you are divine, is the God going to give you promotion? No, nothing is going to happen like that. But your perspective towards life, the way you are thinking is going to change. And that perspective is going to give you the confidence. Right now, most of you have some limiting beliefs. I can do this, I can't do this, I am not capable, and all that. Of course, I'm not saying that you are having all the competencies. I'm not talking about the competencies. Okay, you may lack competencies, you may lack skills. There is nothing wrong, right? And you can develop the skills and competencies. I'm not talking about actual skills and competencies. I'm talking about the potential. Do you have a potential which is infinite, and do you have a potential to do anything? Answer is yes. Why answer is yes? Because you are part of the pure consciousness which is divine. That is the foundational thought process. It is not the positive psychology. It is not goody-goody. It is not about all that. It is the reality. It is the reality that you are divine. Once you believe that reality, okay, whether you experience that or not is a separate matter, because only illumined people will experience that. I have also not experienced that. But do I believe that? Yes, I believe that. I believe that, okay, I have divinity in me. I am a part of the divinity, right? And only I can stop myself. No one else can stop myself. Not my family member, not my spouse, not my mother, father, not my boss. No one can stop me other than myself. Only I am the constraint. My thought process is only the constraint. Why? Because my soul is infinite. My soul is part of the pure consciousness. My soul, your soul, everyone's soul. So this is the foundational thought process. Once you believe it, what problems you are talking? Okay, I will come to those particular problems as well, right? So study of Vedanta, who am I? If you require any support, of course, you approach Vicky and they will give you some reading material, or in future, we can have some training programs also, because these particular things are getting covered in our master degree program in our coaching education. Not every one of you is going to join either master degree program or coaching education. I understand that. But if you are really interested in knowing more about this, we can have some small programs as well, wherein you will be 100% clear on what I'm talking, Vedanta, pure consciousness, your infinite potential, right? How can you maximize your potential? Everything can be covered by us. So this is the first belief system. Once you have this particular belief system, what necessarily you have to do, see, the universe is all energy. It is all the game of energy. And universe is a mother. And mother wants to give. Are you ready to receive? Is the question. And when can you be ready to receive? When your mind is empty. So the universe has all the powerful thoughts, wisdom, everything is there. But your mind is filled with all negativity, all bad memories, right? Past experience, fear. Life is driven by guilt. Like one of you have stated already. Our mind is filled with garbage. This is all garbage. Huh? Garbage doesn't mean it has not happened with you. When I say it means I am not challenging that you are saying something wrong. It is a fact, but it is a garbage. Why it is a garbage? Because it is filling your mind. And because it is filling your mind, there is no space for mind to receive the positive universal energy. So you have to empty your mind. How to empty your mind? You have to forego and delete unpleasant memories. How to do it? I will tell you some scientific facts. You are not what you think you are. What I'm saying? You are not what you think you are. You are also not what others think you are. So who you are? Part of the who am I. You are part of the divine. And this particular mind is filled with unpleasant memories. I'm not saying negative memories. Why negative memories? Because, or why negative incidences? Because each incidence will teach you something. How can you tell it as a negative? Lesson is being learned, and lesson is always positive, right? So there is some learning from that particular negative situation or incidents. So I will say it as an unpleasant memory caused due to some failure or some guilt or some unfair treatment. Now it is in your mind. Now, what scientific fact I'm going to give you? Who you are. So let me ask this particular question to, okay, one of the, okay. So the Ashraf, if I ask you a question, who you are, other than your name and profession, what you will tell me, other than your name and profession?
I'm a human being.
Correct. So you are a human being means exactly what? You are having a human being body, right?
Yes, that's true.
And maybe you are having a human being mind which is more evolved.
Yes.
So you are human being means you are in the form of human body and mind is what is your foundational identity, right?
Off lately, sorry.
Yes.
Off lately, can I share something?
Yeah, of course.
So off lately, I've started thinking that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
So from where you learn this, your learning is right. Where you have learned this?
I watch a lot of videos online and I do a lot of self-learning. So come across some beautiful stuff and I picked it up over there.
Good. Right. So when we think about ourselves, our identity is bound by our body and mind. That is our identity. All this divinity and pure consciousness is not in your experience. It is not in my experience also. So our real identity is body and mind. As far as this particular, the level of wisdom, we are not, we are not Buddha, right? For a normal human being, the normal human being's identity is directly body and mind. That is a fact, right? That is a fact means it's a factual statement. Whether it is a
part of our awareness.
Right. So this is the limitation of our awareness. Limitation of our awareness is till body and mind. But of course, you know one thing for sure, that your mind is continuously changing, right? Your mind is not the same. When you were a child, definitely your thought process was different. Even your last year thought process was different, right? The COVID has now changed you, right? You are thinking differently. So your mind is continuously changing. So you cannot have the identity of the mind because it is continuously changing. So even if you have the identity of the mind, identity which relates to your mind, so you are continuously a different person. 1 year back, Hemant was different. Today's Hemant is different. And tomorrow's Hemant is different, right? So your identity is not constant. It is continuously changing is my first point or first statement. And what about the body? Of course, it is continuously changing. There's no doubt about it, right? Means if we can compare our photos in childhood, in college and now, definitely there is a difference. I hope so, right? Also, the scientific fact is every 10 years, almost your entire body changes, including the bones. Every 10 years, because of the stem cells, right? Every 10 years, your entire body changes. Every few weeks, your entire red cells changes. Every few weeks, your entire skin cell changes. Changes means old die and the new come. So your body is also continuously changing. Every 10 years, it is completely transforming. So what is your identity? So now I will come to the point. Your body is continuously changing. So you are continuously changing. Your mind is continuously changing, but you are carrying old memories with you, unpleasant memories. Few years back, when I was child, when in college, this has happened with me, torture happened to me, with me, unfair. Arey Baba, that you is not you now. Why you are carrying those memories when you have totally changed from the body and mind perspective? So those memories are not of you. Those memories are of past you. So there is no point in clinging to those memories, is the point number one. Point number two, again, it's a topic in itself, forgiveness. You have to forgive people for your own benefit. Not because you are a very grand person, or you are a very evolved person, or you have some spiritual inclination, or you are empathetic person, you are a great person. No, nothing. As a selfish person, you have to forgive the other person who has done damage to you for your own benefit. Why? Because these particular resentments, hate, and guilt is occupying your mind, not allowing universal positive energy to be received by you. So you have to forgive people voluntarily, not give and take. I forgive you and then you behave good with me. Nothing. You forgive the person for your own benefit. This is the psychology. This is the emotional intelligence psychology. I am talking about all emotional intelligence. Without taking the name of emotional intelligence, whatever I am talking is emotional intelligence. Expectations. So we have expectations from our parents. We have expectations from our spouse. We have expectations from our children. We have expectations, of course, during our professional relationships, right? So these expectations are at the root of our misery. Why? Okay, time management, it is, okay, so 6:20:15. Okay, so I have to be fast. Okay. Why expectations are at the root of your misery? Actually, apart from the give and take transactions or a formal agreement and the contract like employment contract or a business contract, where you are receiving something and in return you are giving something, you can't have any expectations in life. As a child, you cannot have any expectations from your parent. Do you know why? Because there is no contract. The parents have not chosen you. That is okay. There seem to be infinite souls, and I am looking for this particular soul to be my child, and in return, I will do everything good to that particular soul. No, there is no contract. You happen to born with your parents, no contract. Then what expectations you are going to have it, right? In case of the marriage also, you happen to marry that particular person, and then at the time of marriage, you are having this so-called contract of feras and everything going round, right? But that is at that instance. It is not the destined contract that is okay. I am going to be the spouse of that particular person and I am going to have this kind of expectation, and it is my birthright that my expectations need to be fulfilled by. No one is responsible for you. Only you are responsible for yourself. That is the thought process. Once you have this particular clarity that I am not eligible to have expectations from the other people. This is the thought process. You have many beliefs. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. So all these particular beliefs are the filters of your mind. You don't know the truth. Can someone tell me any universal truth? Means if I ask the question to this particular audience, right? Can someone give me any indication that, okay, this is the universal truth? I know that this is the truth. Any truth? Any truth? So let someone raise the hand. I just want to understand. Is there any universal truth? And can you share that universal truth with me? That this is the universal truth. Who wants to share the universal truth? Okay, since no one is raising hand. Vandana, you want to share the universal truth as per you?
Sir, I think there is no universal truth. Means everything can be according to change, according to perspective, according to context. So
good. So you don't believe in any universal truth?
I believe sometimes ago.
Like. Give me the example.
Just like honesty, universal truth.
No, it is not a universal truth. It's a value. I'm talking about the truth. That is okay. You know that this is true only. Honesty is a feature and honesty is a value. I'm talking about the truth.
So I think there is no truth because everywhere something is, something can be changed or something is.
So
we can say that gravity is universal truth. We can say, but somewhere sometimes it doesn't work when there on moon there is gravity. I think gravity is universal truth.
There is one universal truth, sir.
Yes, bolo, yeah.
And that is that there is no universal truth.
So this is a bouncer from Nilin. Okay, good. So whatever we think is true or false, it is all our belief system. It is all our perception, right? So you should not be valiantly for or against anything in your life. You should have an open mind. That is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a wisdom. It is not some definition or some quadrants. Okay, just for the simplicity, you can simplify it and convert it into the model. But what is emotional intelligence? You need to embrace positive psychology in your life. Positive psychology is not secret. Positive psychology is not affirmations. Positive psychology is not that you have to always be happy. That is not positive psychology I am talking about. Positive psychology means you have to always look at the things which are working well in your life and not only on the things which are not working well. Of course, in everybody's life, there will be some things which are good, some things which are not as per your expectation, right? But where is your focus? If your focus is always on the things which are not good, your life will be miserable. You can't enjoy your life, right? Common sense, huh? No philosophy. But if there are some good things in your life, focus on those particular good things. That is how you can enjoy your life. So embrace positive psychology, for which you need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and you need to focus on your strengths. Accept sufferings. Someone was talking me, right, that there is some problems in life, right? Trauma. Of course, there will be problems in life. Of course, there will be trauma. Otherwise, you would not have taken birth on this earth, na? You would have, your soul would have enjoyed in heaven. You have taken birth on this earth means you are going to suffer. So the suffering is part and parcel of life. Then why you are crying for that suffering? Everyone says suffering is different, right? So you don't have to compare your suffering with the other person. No, but this particular person is suffering less, but I am suffering more. Because of that, I'm feeling bad. You don't know. You don't know about that particular person, right? So when you suffer in life, think that it is a natural thing because you are human. And if you have taken birth, means you have to suffer. But are you going to only suffer? No. Your life is a balance, or means it's a quota. It's a quota system. And that the quota has suffering as well as pleasure. Everyone has that quota. Of course, intensity will differ depending upon your karma. Someone's pleasure intensity will be more. Someone's suffering intensity will be more. But is everyone has the quota of the pleasures and suffering corresponding to the intensity of their life? Answer is yes. Everyone has a quota. Accept that quota. Na? Why you are unnecessarily crying? That is okay, I am facing these problems and all that. Accept the reality that yes, I am going to suffer. No problem. Once you accept the reality, majority of the problems get solved there only. The real torture is you not accepting the reality. Once you accept the reality, majority of the torture is gone there only, just because of your acceptance. Balance, there is an action plan. Control compass. Someone is behaving badly with you. Most of you might have faced this particular thing multiple times in your life, right? Someone is not behaving as per your expectation is called as badly. Yeah? The definition of the badly, because it is bad from your perspective, but actually it is not aligned with your expectation. The correct sentence formation. And you are getting sad because of that. You are getting frustrated because of that. That is childishness, na? Right? Why it is childishness? Because that other person's behavior you can't control. That person has a separate life, separate thought process, separate goggle, separate mindset, separate brain, separate body, separate mind. You have everything separate, right? You are not in a position to control yourself, right? Where is the question of you controlling the other person? And if that other person is behaving bad with you, so-called, why you are getting frustrated? Do not get frustrated by the things which are not in your control. If you have decided something on yourself, that is, I have decided that is okay, I am not going to drink water. And if I am drinking, then you can say that, okay, there is some problem because I am in a position to control it, right? That can disturb you. But how come the other person's behavior is disturbing you? Think deeply, reflect on what I'm saying. Life is common sense. Life is simple. You are making it complicated. You are unnecessarily getting harassed. You are unnecessarily getting disturbed, right? Means, for example, if something is happening in your neighborhood or Pakistan, are you going to take the responsibility and think, no, it is their life. You cannot control that. So in that way, you are having common sense. That is, the neighbor's life can't be controlled by me. But how can then the other person's life controlled by you? Same principles apply, right? You can control only your life, your thoughts. You definitely can't control the other person's life and thoughts. So it is true for the person living with you in your family or neighbor or different country. So it is just the extension of the logic. Logic remains same. The crux remains same. You cannot control others' behavior. And because of that, you should not get disturbed because of that. Right? Of course, that does not mean that you are going to welcome that behavior and all that. Of course, you can be assertive. You will talk to them. All that is different. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that, okay, if someone is treating you badly, means You have to be submissive to that person. That is not the teaching. The teaching is that because that person's behavior is not in your control, you can't get disturbed. You can only get disturbed for the things which are in your control. You should not get disturbed for the things which are not in your control, right? Something is happening in Ukraine. Are you getting disturbed? No, na? Same logic applies. Okay, here you are involved. I agree. But your involvement can be controlled by whom? By you. Your thoughts, your plan, your action plan. Work on that. Na? Why you are thinking about the other person? You think about your response. You think about what can be done. That is the thought. Now that is a constructive thought process. Action orientation. Solution orientation is a constructive thought process. Getting disturbed because of the other's bad behavior is non-constructive thought process, negative thought process. And always you have to think about the bigger picture. For example, you are having a difference with your spouse. And you are fighting with your spouse, right? Now, think about the larger purpose of the relationship between the couple. Your mother and father are going to leave you eventually during your lifetime. Your kids are also going to leave you for their own life. So who is your real partner in life? Your spouse. Whether you like it or not like it, I'm not asking this particular question. I'm just telling you the fact. This is the fact of your life. Fact of my life, fact of your life, fact of all participants' life. Now, with that particular partner, you are having some intellectual difference. But whether that intellectual difference or the situational issue bigger than your life purpose? No, na? That is the emotional intelligent thought process. Is the issue bigger than the life? It is childish for us, for adults, to think about issues being larger than life. For example, we think that it is childish to do suicide after failing 10th exam because, and few of the students have did suicide after getting less marks, right? It means instead of say 90+%, they got 85% and that person has done suicide. So there are some cases, right? You all have say read it. Now at that particular age, the maturity is not there, right? The person thinks, oh my God, less marks means my life is finished because of the issue of the maturity. And that person does suicide. But we know very well that most of the successful and the powerful people on this earth, right, we are the backbenchers. Majority, I'm saying, okay, there are some people are there, but the majority, and you check it, you check my statement. But to understand that, you have to give time, na? So how is our maturity? Our maturity is same. We are still child. The child is doing suicide right now. What you are doing? You are spoiling the relationship for the trivial situations, trivial issues, right? And you are keep fighting with your spouse and the family members. But what is the purpose of the relationship? What is the larger picture of the relationship? Once you are clear on that, you will understand what to ignore. You will understand where to get disturbed, where to not get disturbed, right? That is emotional intelligence, purposeful thinking, right? So this itself is enough for today, right? I'm not going for managing emotions because after that we will now go for a breakout room. So what we have learned, and of course, if there are some questions, first I will take the questions, then you go to the breakout room if you don't want to go immediately. So the first, I'm just having a small revision, 2-minute revision. So first, understand your true nature in your life. it requires wisdom. I'm not saying everyone is right now clear, right? Everyone is not a scholar of Veda and Upanishad and Vedanta. I know it. But I think you are fortunate to live in a world where there are Vedas, where there are Upanishad, right? Where there is a life wisdom. So just embrace that particular life wisdom. Mastermind Life can help you. Empty your mind, because for your own benefit, not for the benefit of the universe, right? Universe is there. Universe is not dependent on you. That positive energy is there. What unpleasant memories you are carrying? You have changed totally. Your body and mind 100% have changed, and you are thinking about some memory. That is not your memory. That person has died. You are a new person. So where is the question of you having that unpleasant memory? Common sense I am talking about. Forgiveness, you forgive people for your own benefit, so that your mind becomes empty and you can harness the universal positive energy. What beliefs you are talking about? Do you believe that there is a God? You are wrong. Do you believe that there is no God? You are still wrong. You don't know is the reality. Right? So don't go for right and wrong. Don't become righteous in your life. You don't have any authority to become righteous. Who you are? What authority you are having to become righteous? Who told you that is what you think right is right? Don't become righteous in your life. Become human. Embrace positive psychology. Focus on the things which you already have. Not what you don't have, which you already have. Focus on this. Gratitude. Accept suffering. Because you have taken birth means you have to suffer. Accept that first. Do not question, oh, why this is happening to me? Of course, this has to happen with you. You have taken birth, right? This has to happen with you. And if you don't accept this now, in future, you have to receive more suffering. So it is always better to complete your quota of suffering early. Why you are bothering about the things which are not in your control, about the behavior of the other people, which is not in your control? It is absolutely foolish. And why you are fighting with the people and debating with the people, arguing with the people, or spoiling your relationships on the petty situations and the petty things? What is the larger purpose of your life and that relationship? And what is the importance of that particular relationship in an overall canvas of your life? Once you understand that, you will not bother about the petty things, right? So this is emotional intelligence. This is the real emotional intelligence for all of you. So questions first, and then we will go for a breakout room. Any questions, please?
You can raise your hands if you have any questions, or you can put in the chat box also. Yeah, Naresh Kumar, Mr. Naresh Kumar.
So,
you can unmute yourself.
Wait. So allow participants to unmute. Yes. Now you can unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening. This is Naresh Hemant.
Good evening.
Yeah, actually, my question is that by reading Who Am I or some scriptures or something, is it possible to know our real nature?
Yeah. So answer is no, because to know your real nature, you have to experience it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
by practicing, it comes.
Yeah, by practicing it comes. But when you believe, you have not experienced. Means, for example, Hemant Lavangare. Lavangare has not experienced Advait Vedanta and his true nature.
Exactly.
But Hemant Lavangare has read, and because of that, I believe it. That belief is giving me the strength. That is what I am talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a benefit. There is a benefit in knowing that. Of course, if you can experience it, then you become Buddha, and then there is no question. See, the question is this side. On that side, there is no question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, for increasing our self-awareness, should we also actively solicit feed forward from people around us?
So it's a very interesting point, and I will answer it in two different thoughts. I believe that your locus of control has to be internal in life.
Okay. Yeah.
If you keep seeking feedback from the people, it will be difficult for you. And there are a variety of the reasons why I'm saying that it will be difficult for you. Because no other person on this earth knows yourself better than what you know about yourself. So the feedback what they give is incomplete information unless that person is a guru and he has intuition and he knows more about you, right? So their seeking feedback is fantastic.
Right.
But for example, now Milind, right? So tomorrow Hemant goes to the Milind and Hemant asks Milind, yaar, thoda sa mujhe feedback bolo na ki mera behavior kaisa hai, ya main kya karu? Milind has observed me, right? Milind will say, Hemant, mujhe aisa lag raha hai. And depending upon the personality of the Milind, right? Of course, Milind's personality is not that, but I'm just saying, if someone is overconfident, that overconfident person will tell me with such a communication skill that I will believe, oh my God, I am like that or what? Right? So actually, it will misguide you. The probability of you getting misguided by the feedback is very high.
Okay.
Right. So I personally don't believe in the feedback system. I personally believe in knowing yourself and accepting yourself with your faults.
Okay.
And I don't worry on my faults. I just focus my 90+% energy on my strengths and I excel in my life. I know that there will be faults, but it is not my priority, right? I have a short span of time in life. I will use that particular short span of time working on my strengths. This is my answer number one. While said this, there is answer number two, wherein you should be aware about what others also are thinking about you. Why? Because you are not living on the top of the Himalayas. Otherwise, then it is all right? You are a social animal.
Correct.
So your success in life, happiness in life depends on interactions with the other people. And if the other people are not understanding you properly, or say they are having some wrong impression about you, it is going to harm your happiness and the relationship. So that is the point of the Zohari window. So the feedback, there is a technique of asking feedback. Okay. In a Zohari window, if you ask the feedback to the people after self-disclosure, first you will disclose your strength, values, life purpose, everything, your plans and everything. Then you seek feedback, and you seek different feedback from the different people. With the family, different questions, different feedback. With the friends, with the professional connections. If you go for such a systematic route of Zohari window, then there is a merit in seeking feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do hear about
Ashraf is raising hand.
Okay. Yeah, please.
So what I want to ask is that, there are certain things you said we can control, certain things we cannot control. Like we cannot control the opposite person's behavior. We spoke about that. However, I have come across instances and experiences in life in which I have come across people who sabotage, who are saboteurs, like they will do things in the background which will affect your life. This happens in the corporate sector, in offices, in family. And that very often happens because of misunderstandings, or, I have come across situations in which competition is there and, people behind your back are doing things so that you come down. You cannot not get affected by it. Of course, you can be aware that, that person is doing what they are doing and, whatever they are currently aware of what's best for them.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So this is my favorite dialogue. It is from the movie and it's a dialogue of Rajkumar.
Achha.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि तेरी तकदीर लिखने से पहले खुदा बंदे से ये पूछे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है. People will be there. People will sabotage you. People will be after you. People will have some negative things about you, right? But you work on yourself. You work on your competencies. You work on your own mindset. That is what is in your hand. Controlling the saboteurs is not in your hand. So this is the crux. I'm talking about the crux. Of course, there are variety of the, say, management things about it, but the session is not on that. Session is about your mindset.
ऐसे भी लोग होते हैं जो अपनों को मिसगाइड करते हैं आपके.
Right. See, always remember, in life, emotional intelligence or being good human being does not mean that you have to good with yourself and you have to have a good relation or cordial relation with each and every person. No, 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 no. That is not emotional intelligence and wisdom. If you think that someone is negative and somebody is harmful for you, right? Distance yourself from that particular negative energy, right? Just because you want to be good or good human being or emotional intelligent human being, that does not mean you have to be having good rapport with each and every person. No. Where you think that, okay, this particular relationship or this particular vibes are not suited for my life, fine, no problem, right? Don't focus on that particular area, but focus on yourself because that is what you can control. Okay, so with this now I will further take questions, but first is the breakout room, which Harshada will now go for a 15-minute room because I really want you to do Manan, right? See, questions are going to come, right? Because we are talking about two foundational and fundamental points here, right? 90 minutes is nothing, right? So I told you, this emotional resilience is a topic of a one day, 7 hours. So there is no question. Of course, there will be questions. That is not the point. What is the point? Whatever you are understanding, are you imbibing that? Are you thinking about the application? Are you taking some essence? Right? That is what is important. For that, you need to do Manan. Manan is what? Contemplation. That is what will happen in the breakout room, wherein you will share something, other person will share their perspective, and your concepts and the thoughts will get clear. Over to you, Harshada, for
thank you, sir.
next 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will request the committee members as well as the MMM team. They will be going in each of the breakout room for the moderation purposes, and they can moderate the discussion in that room. So you'll get notification on your screen in which you can join the room. Mr. Amar Prabhu, are you there? Hello. Mr. Amar? Hello. You are back to main room. Hello. Can you unmute yourself? Yeah, I think
Hello.
you lost the connection.
Yeah, I have lost
You're
the
in which
connection.
room?
Can you
Which
join
room?
me?
You're in which room?
Harish. Shilpa, Shilpi or someone.
Yeah. One minute.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
madam, मेरा room number 2 है. Room number 2, I think.
Okay, I'll see whether I can shift you there. I'm not getting option to shift you actually. 1 minute. I'll move to room number 2 now. Just see on your screen notification. Hello.
Vivek, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm there. But I think we left the room and we joined the main session.
Yes, that's because it was timed, no? So it just got, yeah. So you want to complete your sentence?
I made my point just
Okay, great.
yes, that is the what I want to say. Like everything is
Great.
fair. That logic helps me, yeah, to handle the critical situations.
Very nice.
All right. So now each group representative to share their insights, especially from the application point of view. That is, which pointers you think that is okay, you want to implement or something like that. Not necessarily the theory or the conceptual, say, sharing, right? So Harshada, so means Harshada, Shiba
Group
to
one can
moderate this. Yeah, please.
Group one can go ahead if they're ready.
And just
Anyone from group one?
Try to do it in 1 to 2 minutes.
Maximum 1 to 2 minutes.
Time management.
Just share your reflection.
Yeah.
So,
group
I
one.
request Irfana, if you could just.
I do not know what is my group number actually. I didn't see a group number.
Irfana is my first group.
So that is group one. Irfana was group one.
It's 4. Good evening, everyone. So one takeaway for us or for me and the group also would be like, we should be emptying ourselves, knowing that the time is not reversible and we have 24 hours in a day. Don't carry any baggage. Just look at everything afresh as you wake up, and as you sleep, rub off that entire day. Take everyone as they are. Don't prejudice, don't categorize, don't discriminate, and that will be a peaceful life and blissful life, and to know yourself much deeper. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Irfana. So I'll call the name of our members who were in the respective groups, and then you can request the respective leaders. So I would request Shilpi in your group, anyone would like to present?
Lalita would like to share.
Okay. Yeah.
Lalita, you're there?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, Lalita, you're audible.
Yeah. See, what I wanted to share is, as Hemant sir said, it is not so easy to analyze ourselves. We need someone's help, or we may not be in a position to understand ourselves fully. So is it whether we need any counselor, or can we do on ourselves? Sir, can we do ourselves that can we utilize our strength and weaknesses?
Yeah. So Lalita, it is better to take help of a coach in this particular process because it's common sense. If you try to do it yourself, you will take too much time. But with the coach, you will do it in a very time efficient and effective way. So the Wiki will support you with a coach. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ms. Sarika?
Amod is going to do in our group. Shiba and Satika. Amod? Mr. Amod.
Yeah, hi ma'am. Amod here. Yes, it was very wonderful session, and every person goes through their ups and downs, their professional experiences. So sir has put up in a very structured format because I also go through, I also interact many people in a day. So somewhere down the line, we have to accept the people as they are. And firstly, we have to accept ourselves. And when we reflect, we have to accept other selves also. And based on that, we like our experiences based on our emotions. So how we reflecting ourselves, then our limitations are there. Sometimes we think out of box, why we are not able to manage things. But as sir said, when we think like we have our own limitations, then we come to our own conclusion. Yeah, that is going, this is going in that way. The second part, what I thought, it's managing emotions. So that is what I also told ma'am also, we would be interested to know more and understand. And maybe if you can arrange more webinars, that will be great.
Definitely, we can take up these initiatives and we'll keep on organizing such webinars on the different topics, and we would invite you.
Okay, sure. Thank you, ma'am.
So Anjali, anyone from the group, or you would like to present?
Vidya will take it forward.
Okay.
Hi. Actually, we had a very interesting conversation. A question was put down by one of us, and that we discussed on that, and lovely insight came out of it. The question is, EI, when we talk, we were talking more on the organization side, but actually, the more need is on the domestic side. This is what one of us brought about. Then we all agreed, and we said, yes, it has to be everywhere. It cannot be. And we related it to Hemant's presentation on acceptance of suffering and making zero expectation. That also came out, and we discussed how we can balance it. And finally, all of us kind of agreed that yes, it needs a lot of practice. Yes, it's all easy to hear theory wise, but it needs a lot of practice to implement all of this. This is where we stopped actually.
Absolutely, that's very true, Vidya. Yes, Mr. Milind.
I was there in Amod Atate's group only.
The same group. Okay. So anyone else, if I haven't called the group names?
Yeah, ma'am. It's a group number 5.
Yeah.
And Priya will summarize on the behalf of the group. Priya, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. So it was really a wonderful session by Mr. Hemant, and I'm really happy to know that there are people who are having views very similar to mine. And while during the discussion with my team, I happened to discover a few things that resonates with me. What we could take away from this session is that it is important to know yourself first well, and then also try and understand other people's perspective. Because unless and until you do not start accepting a person, you will keep finding faults, you will keep getting disappointed. And that can create, again, a resentment and a lot of misery for yourself. So it's important to first know yourself, so that know your strengths, and then you know also your weakness or the area that you want to build on. Because when you know that you will get affected by someone else's actions, it is better to start working on it and let it go, not let it affect you. The other thing that we wanted to look at was about not having expectations. So be it any relation, be it professional or personal, having expectations would again cause misery and hurt for you. So that's something which we need to completely do away with. And one of my team members, in fact, was very happily saying that she's been doing it already, practicing it already. And that is a really wonderful thing if she has already achieved that in her life. She also is very resilient, and she always wants to boomerang from a situation which has kept her down. So that's a wonderful thing. And I think that's something which we would also want to imbibe from her. Also, the other thing that I wanted to highlight from this session is the nature of forgiving people. So I personally experienced that I have that tendency to hold on to things which has caused some kind of misery for me. And it takes me a lot of time to get out of it. But that again, like what Mr. Hemant said, that it would hold me from getting the positive universal energy. So I am going to be working on that part of it, because it's important to let go and be happy yourself. So these the 3-4 things which came out as a highlight from the session. And there are a lot of other things that I'm still absorbing, which probably I think maybe with few more some sessions or a little bit more reading, maybe like what he said about Vedas and Upanishads would give me a little more insight about myself and the worldly deeds or other people's mind, to understand how they work and how I should understand and let go of things.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's from my side and our team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Priya. Very well said. And definitely you will get this support set from us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ujjwala, anyone from the group, or you were in the
same group, ma'am.
Same group. Okay.
What Priya said.
I think, yeah. Fine. So this completes our reflection. So over to you, Shiva.
That was indeed a very wonderful session, insightful, enlightening as well. And thank you so much, Mr. Hemant. It was conducted so beautifully. We would like to move on to feedbacks now. Like, we will be uploading the feedbacks in the chat box, and we request all of you to please fill in the feedbacks, because this will help us to tailor our future programs. We are allotting a few minutes for the feedback.
So the link is there in the chat box. You have to just click on that and fill up your feed forward on this. Just take a minute, and you can let us know in the chat box if you are done, so we can move to the next part of the session.
Could you all please put yes in the chat box after filling the form? Immediately after, we will be announcing our upcoming programs. Thank you, Sarika.
Shiba, the messages can only be sent to.
So now I have enabled.
Yeah, you just enabled.
Yeah. Yes.
It's wonderful to see the feedbacks being filled, and
I think you can go ahead with
we can start.
We have some very interesting webinars which are coming up. One is on the April 9th. The topic is business opportunities in tourism sector. And on 23rd April, we are coming up with another webinar, which is business idea generation for aspiring entrepreneurs. Please follow our pages for updates on events and activities.
I request our team to just put our social pages in the chat box, so all can take up from there. And you can keep on constantly visiting them for the upcoming sessions and various events on diverse areas. Also, I request team to post MML social pages so they can look into the various programs related to the spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, and we'll keep on organizing these webinars frequently.
And Harshada, if anyone is looking for the coaching support, you can declare that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on behalf of Vicky, we are willing to provide you that support. So you can connect with any of the members and we can find a coach.
So I request Sarika to post our email ID in the chat box,
Yeah.
Vicky email ID, and anyone can reach to us on this email with your requirements related to the coaching support. So we do provide Mastermind Life Eco-Education, provides support to the corporates as well as individuals for the coaching. So that includes relationship coaching, executive coaching, as well as business coaching verticals. Since we are into life coaching programs almost a year and close to 120 coaches have qualified our PCC level certification, they can definitely add immense value to this coaching space. So you can reach to us on any of these areas of your choice on this email.
So good, I think for the time management purpose, now we can conclude.
Yeah, yes.
Shiba can conclude the event.
Yes. As we bring our webinar to a close, we once again thank you for being with us. We totally cherished your presence, and as a token of appreciation, we will be emailing you some interesting resources on emotional intelligence. Do enjoy. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiba. Thanks.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
See you
Again.
again. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye.
Team can go.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for the
Thank you.
wonderful
Thanks.
session.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Vandana.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.